Survive and thrive, it's the name of the game. Has been for millennia. Whatever it takes, you do it. I have the distinct honor of being the first thief mentioned in the Bible. I stole something very valuable. And if I were caught, execution at the hand of my own father. But you do what you have to do, and I did. Survive and thrive, baby.
Throughout history, people have sought tangible representations of their faith in idols and gods, looking for divine guidance and protection. However, Christians seek guidance and fulfillment through a personal relationship with the living God.
I'm one of Laban's daughters, the pretty one. My husband is Jacob, the son of Isaac, the son of Abraham. Yeah, the big three, the patriarchs. And I am the mother of Jacob's sons, Joseph and Benjamin, his favorite sons. I'm a pretty big deal. So what could I have possibly stolen that was so valuable I would risk my life for? Some clay and rock figurines. Let me explain. The world has always been a dangerous place. A place where food has been scarce, where babies are needed to assure the survival of the human race. Safety, food, fertility. People have always wanted to survive and thrive. No one knows the first person to worship a god. Could have been a hunter. Leaves one morning, desperate for something to feed his family. He stumbles on a rock, uses it to steady himself. That day he kills a deer, and in record time. A few days later, he goes to hunt again, sees the same rock, notices it's oddly shaped, touches it again. Once more, he kills a deer even faster than the time before. A connection between touching the rock and getting food. Why not? It's only a short step to worshiping the rock to ensure prosperity. Maybe it wasn't a hunter and a deer. Maybe it was a woman wanting a baby or a family needing safety. Whatever the situation, somebody saw a connection. The instinct to survive and thrive kicks in, and they think, worship the right object and you have a better chance of surviving and thriving. Once someone started worshiping an inanimate object, it wouldn't be long before the whole family started worshiping that object, then the whole tribe. And it would be another short step until more than one god would be worshipped. You couldn't take chances or be too safe. The world, it's a dangerous place. The more gods you worship, the more likely you would survive and thrive. This brings me to my grandfather-in-law, the great Abraham. He lived in about 2000 BC in what is now modern-day Iraq. According to the Bible, Abraham's relatives worshipped gods beyond the Euphrates River. This was near the time and place of mankind's first writings. Some of the first writings were about gods like Marduk, who reputedly said he invented humans so they could be his slaves. You see how the worship of one god was not the best way in their minds. It's a risky way, and you can't afford to subject yourself and your family's survival to that risk. He concluded his family would better survive with one god, especially one god who was truly real and powerful. Now think about the decision Abraham had to make, leaving all those other gods behind. And by faith, Abraham. It was a huge step for this man, as well as a huge step for mankind, if you know what I mean. I mean, nobody has done this before. It's crazy. It's countercultural. And potentially, it's fatal. Flies in the very face of survive and thrive, but he did it. Abraham made his choice. He left his gods for the one true God. Then he had Isaac, then Jacob, They also worshipped only the one true God. Not many others worshipped only the one true God. Jacob worked for my father for many years. While he was working under Dad, God blessed Jacob. Jacob's sheep and goats were so healthy, they multiplied so quickly, we became rich. Finally, we could leave my father and return to Jacob's native land. My father was difficult. I love him, but I get it. Jacob decided we should leave while my dad was away shearing sheep. Jacob wanted out of there before there was any drama. Smart man. And there were a lot of us, so we needed a big head start. I was ready to leave my father, but not ready to completely leave what I had always known. Safety, maybe. Familiarity. Something. Anyway, I stole our family gods. The clay and rock figurines, I took them. But technically they were kind of mine. Right? I think so. Didn't tell my husband, didn't tell anybody. So yeah, I stole them, hid them inside my camel saddle. They were small, they probably won't even miss them. No matter how much I reassured myself that no one would care and that I wasn't technically a thief, it was about 10 days later when I came to terms with how important those gods were. My father and a huge group of my relatives caught up with us. He was angry. Angry in a way that only desert dads who depend on certain things for survival of their entire clan can be. Lucky for me, God had warned him not to threaten Jacob. My father confronted Jacob, accused him of stealing his gods. It was a scene, straight out of a soap opera. The wealthy, aging patriarch father-in-law versus the young, handsome, successful son-in-law. The gorgeous daughter, favorite gorgeous daughter, with a secret. Jacob knew the gods were important, really important. So important that he faced my father and straight up said if anyone was caught with the stolen gods, they would be executed. I simply smiled, sweetly, like a good daughter and a dutiful wife. Gorgeous, dutiful wife. Even used my time of the month as an excuse to not arise and greet my father. Oh, I wasn't about to get caught. Survive and thrive, baby. Now, it would be easy for you to say, what's the big deal, Rachel? Those gods are made-up gods. Seriously? Worshipping useless sticks, rocks, and clay figurines? Gods that don't exist? We didn't see it that way. And neither did God. Fast forward 500 years to the time of Moses, God gives Moses the 10 Commandments. The first two, you shall have no other gods before me. And you shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or on the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You shall not bow down to them or worship them. God saw the other gods as being real. Or at least real enough that the Israelites perceived them to be real and acted accordingly. The Israelites knew those first two commandments and the punishment for worshiping other gods, yet they continued to worship other gods. The gods of Babylonians and Egyptians, the gods of the Canaanites and other tribes in the land of Canaan, the gods of the surrounding countries. If we knew of other gods, we were inclined to worship them. No need to take a chance of offending a god. It was quite common to adopt the gods of other civilizations, especially when their gods proved stronger than your own. The urge to survive and thrive. It's so strong that the Israelites worship anything that can possibly help them survive and thrive. And you know what? History shows most civilizations throughout time up to today have worshipped gods too. Survive and thrive. very, very powerful drives. Historically, as each culture died away, its gods died away too. These gods proved to be a feature of culture, not innately real. The only power these gods had was the power their cultures gave them. You have them in your culture too. I suspect you worship a few gods yourself. Not sticks and rocks and clay, but something just as mundane. Career. Food. Celebrities. A hobby or habit, a person or relationship. Social media. Any chance you recognize these as gods? Not so fast. A quick look at your daily time stats and your bank account may bust you. Abraham started something new. Way back in 2000 BC, a different way of understanding gods. He chose to worship only one God, the God known in the Bible as Big G God, the Lord, the God who made everything. Abraham chose to obey God completely, and God chose to bless Abraham and his descendants. Abraham's second son was Isaac. Isaac's son was Jacob. Through Jacob's sons came the Jewish faith. Many generations on, God sent his son into the world. Through Jesus, a descendant of Abraham, came the Christian faith. In Christianity, a different word is used instead of saying survive and thrive. Life. Jesus used the word life. He said, "I have come that they may have life and have it abundantly." Abundant life. Survive and thrive, the fulfillment of what humans have always searched for, and what I risked my life to find.